Three, two, one.
So yeah, social suicide. We back with another podcast. We got a nice little interview for y'all, man. More on like the sport tip and family
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah, I want to introduce my favorite cousin, SHAMORI St. Kitts.
Yeah, man. It's good to be here, man. I appreciate y'all having me today. How y'all doing?
Doing
So,
good, man. How you
good,
been,
man.
man? How's life been treating you?
Man, I'm blessed. No complaints. You know,
Alright.
I'm above ground. I'm still breathing, so ain't nothing to complain about. Man.
That part.
Well, let's give a little background to the people that may not know you, man. Let's start off with where you're from, what got you in the game of football, like what inspired you and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, born in New York, Brooklyn, New York. You know, I moved to Ocala, Florida when I was 10. All right. What got me into football is my family, pretty much, or I should say my older brother. You know, for those who have siblings,
Yeah.
you kind of know you following their footsteps, and that was something that he did from a young age. So watching him playing, it made me want to play. And then I can remember us putting on the games. You know, college, it's not like college football on Saturdays. Putting them games on and watching them. And I remember one of the first games I ever watched. It was a USC game. Reggie Bush.
Okay.
Oh,
In
shit.
05, yeah, in
Okay.
05. And man, he showed me the highlights before the game, and that got me pumped. Then I watched the game, and I said, man, I like that. That's something I want to do. And so I got into it, and it's been up from there. So pretty much since the age of 6 or 7, I've been playing.
What was the moment you knew, like, yo, this is like some shit I actually like? Aside from like trying to emulate your brother, like, when did you come into the game knowing, like, yo, like, this is like my sport right here?
I would say at a young age, maybe around like 11, it kind of clicked for me. Like I was just being out there making plays. It was coming easy for the most part, and I enjoyed it. Any athlete, you know, when you make that play, and you got the crowd engaged, and you hear them, you kind of feed off of their momentum or off of their energy, and it's a great feeling, and it can low key become like a little addicting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially when you actually good at what you do, and that light bulb go off for you, man. Yeah.
What position you played growing up?
Growing up, I was chunky. I ain't gonna hold you. I was a little chubby. You feel me? So I started off on the line. I played the whole offensive line, whole defensive line. You know what I'm saying? But then as I started growing, hit puberty, and like coming to my body, I went to DN in high school. I played DN in high school, and they were trying to get me to play linebacker for the longest. I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. But then my senior year, I agreed because like it's what we needed, you know what I'm saying, and to switch up the packages. So then I started playing a little linebacker, and they had me blitzing. When I went to college, that's when they moved me to linebacker.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, they finessed me. You feel me? Like
What they recruited you at?
they recruited me as a DN.
Okay.
You know, so the coach I was talking to, he was a DN coach. He been at a lot of D1 programs like Pitt, Louisville, Miami, Wisconsin, all the big schools he went. So I'm like, you know what? If I got this man that's knowledgeable and that done been everywhere, I might not be at the biggest school, but I got the resource.
Yeah.
So I tapped in with him, and then I committed. And then when I got there, they was like, you're a little too small to be a DN in college. So I was
You
like,
too small.
I mean, I wasn't this size when I first went in, man.
Nigga, you still big as hell. What are you talking about,
All right,
fam?
look, so I'm 220 right now.
Yeah.
Going into college, I was 185, 190.
Okay.
Realistically, you not about to
Yeah.
come off the edge at that size. But I know how to use my body, and I was a speedster, so I had technique. I wasn't just brute strength. You know what I'm saying? I know how to pick my opponents apart because I had the technique and the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I was good at what I did. But going to the next level, they was like, yeah, you're too small. So then they moved me to linebacker. And I ain't like it at first, but I did what I had to do. And first year, I got in, you know, as a freshman. I was doing my thing, learning it. Second year, my sophomore year, I started. I ate all conference. First year ever really playing linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, when it clicked for me, it just become easy at that point. And I just do what I do. I go on the autopilot and make shit happen.
What you feel like was your honest breakout moment where you started seeing people like give you recognition for the way you play the game?
I had a few, to be honest. From Little League, I felt like I was pretty good. You know,
Nigga, you was fucking dominant. Nigga. I got a fucking story.
Appreciate that. I didn't feel like I was dominant in Little League because I was still like trying to find myself. But I had coaches that would like tell me little things here and there.
Yeah.
High school, I had a few moments. For instance, freshman year, like spring season, I broke my hand. I had a cast on my hand. Still played the spring game. 8 went crazy. You feel me? All the coaches like, oh, we ain't know you was like that, da da da. I'm like, y'all ain't know, but I always knew. Y'all just ain't give me the chance. You feel me? Next year came back, new coaching staff in a sense, shitted on me. So then it's like every year in high school I had to prove myself. Sophomore year again, spring, I broke through on that one. Spring game went crazy on that. You know what I'm saying? Played a few ranked opponents. You know, like people that went to big schools.
Yeah.
Shit, did my thing against them. Junior year, spring season, broke my other wrist.
Yeah.
Played with a cast on my hand. 8 again. So it's like, in those moments, although I wasn't getting those opportunities the whole time, I always believed and trusted in myself. And when I got my opportunities, I just made the most of it. And everybody else was surprised, but I knew what I would bring to the table the whole time.
That moves to my next question too,
Yeah.
man. Because me and you played on the same team together, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, especially when we was always on the defensive side of the ball, our team used to rally behind you. Like whenever like something went down and something just wasn't right, we always rallied behind you. We looked at you as a leader on our team. So do you feel like that same category of player like followed you through high school, through college, through like being a leader?
That's interesting because I actually never knew that. I'm an action kind of person, so when I was younger, I was shy, so I didn't do too much talking. But like when I get on that field, like
And that's the thing. Like you led more so by your play than your words.
Yeah,
Like we could be in a bad stink. Say the team just went down and dropped for 30 yards. Next play, you come back with a nasty ass hit. And it's from that moment we just locked in and it just got right. So I feel like you led a lot by your playing style. Even like I'm gonna even get personal. I remember it was my first year playing football. It was my first year playing football, and this was the first day of pads. Yo. Nigga, I want you to get a good picture. I don't know what drill we was running. Maybe like Oklahoma, or maybe we were just going through like just basic hitting drills. I get lined up with him. Nigga. I'm thinking shit sweet. I'm like, yo, this family, like this shit, just gonna go through the bases, like gonna be a run through. This nigga whacks me so fucking hard. I get up, I'm pissed. I'm like, bruh, ain't no fucking way, dog. Like, bruh, like I want you to like understand like how hard this hit was. To the point, it's like you ever been hit so hard, like you just got a gasp for air, like as soon as you like hit the ground.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm pissed, nigga. I'm damn near ready to quit. At that moment, I realized, I was like, bro, maybe this ain't for me.
See, man, I had to initiate you though, because I know if it wasn't me, it was gonna be somebody else.
Yeah, and there was like a.
It was gonna be somebody else. So I
was be in the game.
Yeah, and then we had because we rode to practice together, so I'm in the car silent.
And I know he mad. I know he mad at me.
Yeah.
I know mad at me.
I was silent, nigga. So, he ended up pulling me to the side. He was like, "Look, man, this is the game. This is the concept of football. I didn't really understand because I'm just new to this shit." He was like, "Look, this is how this is gonna be, man. Me and you are friends. Yeah, whatever the case may be, we family. But when we line up on the opposite side of the ball, all that shit goes away. And that's the same way everybody else is gonna treat you."
And that's crazy because, like, when I first started playing, I'm like, I know a lot of these guys from the neighborhood already. So my mom like, oh, you need to do this, take their position. I'm thinking, like, this my homeboy. I can't take his position. Like, I'm still, like, that mentality playing the game. So, like, that whole season I had to learn, like, man, y'all, we friends out here, but, nigga, I need to get mine, too.
Yeah, we just got to get to it. And that's when it clicked to me. I was like, okay, like, that's when it fully resonate, like, this is the game of football. Type shit. And like my first experience playing football or just getting into it or just wanting to do it was because of him. Right. Like, that's just what it is. And then I later learned to love the game on my own. But that's why I also said that a lot of people, at least I know on our team, they may not voice it, but they looked at you as a leader because a lot of ways you didn't really say too much. but your actions really spoke volumes.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And I'm a big believer in iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm young, I don't know how to put that into words, but that's pretty much what that was. It's like, okay, if I baby you, you know what I'm saying, you gonna go out there thinking it's sweet for somebody who ain't got no love for you. And you really gonna get hurt. So I'd rather be the one to like, hey man, this is what it is. And you know, we can have words, you can feel away, but at the end of the day, you know I love you. Versus your first time you line up against somebody who don't give a damn about you, really trying to knock your head off. And they're gonna talk crazy to you when they do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, man, let me just go ahead, show you what the game is really like. We could talk about it. And once again, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Because I would do you no just, I wouldn't do you any favors to take it easy on you, knowing that when we go out there on Saturdays, Fridays, whatever day we go to step out to play, them folks ain't got no love for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to prepare you in the sense that, as crazy or as that might sound or seem,
At the time, it felt nuts. I was like, no way. But like, yeah, it's
athletes
like,
gonna understand though.
Yeah.
Athletes gonna understand. Once again, iron sharpens iron. You know, we see all these documentaries about Kobe or Jordan, how they did, like how they motivated their teammates. It wasn't always the nicest, but it made the people around them better.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what I was going for.
So back to talking shit. I played DB growing up, so like that's you talking shit before the ball, before you even show yourself for real. Like you just talking shit to try to get in their head already. So like, but growing up, I seen college because I had worked on the sideline with the Gators a little bit, and then Mari, his first season, all he did was play special teams. He played kickoff, and he used to tell me like, man, special teams get crazy. Like niggas running full speed and you standing still for most of the time, and you got to try to block this nigga running full speed at you.
Yeah.
So like, how was that in college? Did you have any special team experience?
Yeah, going in as a freshman, you gonna play special teams, and because I didn't go to a bigger school too, all the dogs was playing special teams. It don't matter if you was a starter, no matter if you a dog, you out there on that special team. They want the best 11. Kickoff, kick, return, punt, whatever it is. So yeah, man, first college game, I'm on kickoff and kick return. So it's like I'm starting off, and I'm like, damn, I ain't never been here before. You know, you got the little butterflies or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know, running down, get the little first collision, boom, get that out your system. Oh yeah, it's on now. I ended up having a few tackles on kickoff my first game. Yeah, I got a picture of it too. You feel me? And I got up talking my shit because now I'm here. Like, you know, y'all really let me in the dose, and now it's up. But yeah, man, special teams is something you have to, and you will go through if you trying to climb the ladder, or if you just one of the dogs on your team. They gonna want the best 11 out there.
What would you say was the biggest transition you had to make from high school to college?
I mean, I've always pretty much had great discipline when it comes to my craft. Like, I love football with like all of my being. We spoke earlier about sacrifices I made. Yeah. People don't understand the things that collegiate athletes go through. Like, y'all only see them on the court or the field, but you don't understand what goes in, what kind of preparation that takes. So I would say the biggest transition is like the preparation and how it goes. You know, high school, you practice one time a day. You know, so that's, if you got a week, you practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a walkthrough. So you practicing 3.5 times, if even.
Might have more to work out.
You know what I'm saying? Some schools do, some schools don't. College, no, man. Like that sport that they paying you for is a job. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wake up. I remember camp, we had 3 days in a sense. You gotta wake up, you be dressed in the locker room, 6 a.m. All right. Yeah. Okay. So if you gotta get taped or see any AT, you need to be there 5:15. Okay. Practice, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. From there, all right, you go ahead and get some breakfast. Then we got meetings from like 11 to 12:30. Then from meetings, you might have like a 30-minute or an hour break. If you banged up, you got to go see the AT. That's mandatory. Okay. So that's your rest.
Yeah.
After that break, you're going to go back and have some more meetings. After those meetings, you're going to have lunch. Then after lunch, you might have a walkthrough or some kind of practice. Then you might have an hour, 2-hour break. Then you go to dinner. Then you have an evening meetings. That's one day. You got to do that for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on where you at. For camp, that's just camp. Now imagine when the semester start.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you wake up in the morning. Depending on how your coach make your schedule, you either practicing or you working out in the morning. Then you go to breakfast. Then you got to go to class all day. And if you hurt, once again, you got to go to the AT. So whenever your break is, get your lunch, go to that AT room, do that, go back to class. When you finish class, then you might have to go to tutoring or something like that, and you're going to have either a meeting or you're going to have practice. But both is going to happen. So you either going to have a meeting, then practice, or you're going to have practice, then a meeting, then it's dinner. And then your position coach might want to meet with you. That's 2 to 3 meetings in one day, 2 to 3 practices with class.
So dealing with this schedule change and like I think a lot more responsibility because like you said, you getting up at 5:15 if you actually got to do something before practice. How was that mentally? Like, did you have to correct anything mentally?
I was going to ask that same thing. Like, what was like the mental toll on you in terms of like having to deal with so many aspects of the game being incorporated into your life, your everyday life, for that matter?
It wasn't no mental toll to me. Honestly, I was built. This is what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So when you want something, you willing to do whatever it takes. You know, my dreams was bigger than what I was going through in that moment. So that what I had to do is just what I had to do in the moment to get to where I wanted to go. So I went in, and you can see a difference in caliber of players or people that really love what they're doing and people that's just there.
Yeah.
Or people that think that they love it. Because I went in, I had a whole class of freshmen. There was probably like 50 of us. You can see the difference from those who really train during the summer, bust their ass, versus those who just lollygagged. And man, I'm in the weight room cleaning 205 as a freshman, 225, and that might not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but for somebody who didn't really start lifting weights, I lifted probably like 6 months, and now I'm learning how to clean 225 and bench 225 as a freshman.
So like coming out of high school, did you already have your form when it came to weightlifting and shit, or?
No, I got a trainer.
Yeah,
any money I had, it was going to that trainer. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't have no like real job, but like little side things I would do. Things for my parents that need things done around the house. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. They gonna give me some bread for it, and then whatever bread I get, I'll talk to my trainer. Hey, look, I got this. This is what I can do. He gonna work with me. You know what I'm saying? Because he know the situation. But at the end of the day, he saw the drive that I had. So it wasn't really. I don't think to him it wasn't really about the money. It's just really the dedication. The dedication is what he saw in me. So yeah, me and Josh actually, we had the same trainer. We spent the whole summer training. We'll get up, go to the gym 6 a.m. in the morning. After that, we probably leaving there like 9 o'clock. We gonna go ahead and do some recovery. Make sure we eating good. Yeah. Then we'll chill out for a few hours, take a nap, whatever the case may be, and then we'll probably go and get a second session. We doing 2 a days before we even hit college to prepare ourselves.
What was the worst case scenario that you personally saw with dudes that came in, wanted to be a collegiate athlete, but didn't take it serious, I guess?
You get left behind quick, all right, because everybody is good at this level. Like, some people are used to being that guy in high school, because high school you can skate. Yeah. You might just have 1 or 2 dudes on the team. But when you get to college, you got to remember, everybody getting paid to be here. Yeah. So everybody, man, where they from. So what you going to do to separate yourself?
And that's the thing most people got to get, like, under, like, if they ain't got that mentally going in, like, you might not be the man. Like, you the man in high school. Like, you might not even have to work. I know motherfuckers that didn't even practice.
At high school.
Yeah, niggas ain't even practice all week. But like he said, I had older brothers. Like, the oldest, he sucked. That nigga. He didn't even want to be out there. My mom just put him out there, like, you gonna play type shit. But the second oldest, that boy went there, and that's back when MCYFL had Mr. Football and all that shit. It was kind of like the Heisman for MCYFL. Yeah. They did that too. But I think they had like 3, like the top 3. So he won that shit that year, and then I'm looking at him like, all right, yo, let me go ahead and show these boys a little something. But I'm small. Like, I'm already skinny, but I was short back then too. This is 2006. So I come out there, we get our little championship, but after that, like you said, I had one of them like hits that woke me up, bro. And challenged me like, do I really want to do this shit, bro? Because look, we won the championship, so you can only tell like the type of talent that we had on our team, bro. And like, motherfuckers was doing me dirty in practice. So
my first year was like shit. Like, but I feel like that's most people's first year. But my first year was shit. Only because I feel like it was a little bit more harder for me because I'm playing around a group of guys that have been playing for years prior. So that was like the mentally tough part. But other than that, once I really started to get in the groove of things, I actually, because with more experience with something, you just get better automatically. It's just what it is. Like I became more comfortable. But yeah, man, that hit. Yeah. That fucking hit. Really, bro. I really question like, damn.
But look though, after that, and next year is when I left, you was going crazy, weren't you?
I was about to say that same season. No, nigga, I'm still getting cracked.
I'm saying that's your first season.
Yeah.
So I'm saying after your first season.
Oh yeah, I got better. Yeah,
You going crazy now because you done seen, man. Not saying we had some dogs on that team.
Yeah.
Like we had some dogs, and we've been playing together for 2 to 3 years. So like you said, for that to be his first year, to come in with a bunch of dogs that been playing with each other for 2 to 3, man, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I respect them for thugging that out, because I don't know if I probably would have known if I would have wanted to do that shit. But man, he sucked it up. He handled business like a man and proceeded to go crazy the next few seasons. You know what I'm saying? So
what helped me a lot though was playing in the neighborhood. Throw them up, bust them up. We used to play 7-on-7.
Crazy on it.
Bro, we used to play 7-on-7 in the on the tennis court. So
yo,
like,
y'all niggas.
but this is back there in Steeplechase though. So we playing on the tennis court, and like it'd only be like 2 or 3 people my age. The rest of them grown.
Yeah.
In my eyes, they like 8th grade or in high school already. Already got beards and shit, talking shit. So going out there and playing with them boys a lot helped too, because I was just practicing without even knowing. I'm just out here in the neighborhood playing, so that translated to the field a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, did you have that growing up? Like, how was your neighborhood growing up?
Man,
every day we outside.
For real, like
football, basketball, everything.
Yeah, like we were like the athletes on our block. Like, bro, we would be outside from 10 a.m. to all the way to 7 p.m. Like constantly outside doing nothing else but playing sports. And like even though we didn't have like a lot of kids on our block, it was just probably me, him, another kid, like 2 other kids maybe. Like we made the most of it. Like even though we weren't intentionally like trying to work on our craft, we were working on our craft type shit. So it just it was just like a real like, and then he had his older brother too, so that made it fun. Okay. Man, we would get into these competitions. He all-time QBs. Me and him lined up, going back and forth on a narrow ass road. Like, yo, it was like definitely fun, man.
So on that topic, my number 1 fan was my mama. I ain't gonna lie.
Big facts.
Man,
yo,
hey, you make a play, you gonna hear run, Grant, run. That's all I'm hearing. Like, you know, like sometimes in the game, like when you making a play, shit just goes silent. Like you don't hear nothing but maybe the collision and just your breathing.
I used to hear the announcer call my name because he used to pronounce.
I didn't even hear that,
fam. Wrong, bro.
I ain't even hear the announcer. What was one of the moments like you was just in the game and like everything numb? All you hear is you and you just tunnel vision on the field.
Damn near every game, to be honest with you. Once I put that helmet on and walk to the field, it's a whole different person. You can probably ask my parents. You ask my brother. He be out there screaming my name, and I can hear him, but I'm not hearing you right now. I got business to handle, you feel me? And sit back and enjoy the show I'm about to give you. You know what I'm saying?
Thing.
Yeah. So I hear it, but it's like I tune it out because that's like, I got business to handle, you feel me? Y'all here for a reason. So yeah, but I would say damn near every game when I hit that zone. But I remember my senior year playoffs, dude. And we doing terrible, but we hit playoffs because we won all of our district games. Okay. You feel me? So we went out in district. We 4-0 in district. We get a home playoff game, close game. Folks, they talking trash. It was something in the newspaper that they said about me. I don't even remember. But watch how this come full circle. We up though. Last play of the game. It's like 4th and something. We on defense. Sack. Come off that edge. Sack in the game. Seal the deal. And I look at the scoreboard and like, now I'm finna send you back on this bus, and you got to take that long ride back home and think about what you said about me. I know you're ashamed of yourself.
Okay, so I got a question though. All right, so give me a player that you played against that you just could never figure out. Like, what was like your one of the moments where you were just like, I can't figure out this guy,
or this nigga just a dog.
Yeah,
like. He gonna make a play regardless.
Honestly, not. Like, respectfully. Because once again, it's gonna motivate me. You might beat me this time,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm coming for your ass next time. Like I remember one of the first times I played on varsity. You know, the school I went to. The running backs crazy, shifty.
Yeah.
They're like that. You know what I'm saying? So we in practice. Buddy hit that corner. Mind you, I'm a DN. So he hit like the sweep. I get off the block and I go to tackle him. That man hit me with a stiff arm. But I ain't never been stiff arm like that.
It was one of them diving stuff.
No. It wasn't no Derrick Henry. You know,
I was about to say,
I've never been done like that. But the fact that he put his whole hand on my face mask and I wasn't able to tackle him, that set it off for me right there.
Yeah.
So I said, that's your first and last. In my head, because I didn't talk shit. But I learned. How I learned technique is by watching film, watching opponents, watching myself, watch what worked, what didn't work. I only started watching film when I got to high school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I kind of started piecing it together because now I could see what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, what the opponents like to do, how I could beat them. And then I was just going out practicing by myself. Like I remember a summer, I was out there every day after the weight room. Folks going home or they going to do some stupid shit because you know they young. Me, I'm right there on the field. It's probably like me and 2-3 other people. And I'm like, hey, we could warm up together, I'm going to go hit this bag. I'm going to do this pop-up bag. I'm going to find different ways, you know. So spending that time with myself, and I'll be out there for like an hour and a half.
By yourself?
Just working. Coming up with all different scenarios in my head. If this happened, what do you do here? What do you do here? And so I really, honestly, genuinely taught myself. Like I'm a self-made player.
What was your journey like leaving college and going to entering pro?
I didn't go from straight from college to pro. I played 2 years of college ball, right, at a small school, and then I transferred to a big D1 school trying to walk on. All right. That didn't work out due to like coaching staff changes there. And then as you get to the bigger schools, it's politics going on. And you don't know that until you get there. So I had some of both going on. And then
what was some of your efforts consisted of trying to walk on to a big school? What school was it? UCF?
UCF.
UCF, all right, yeah. What was that like, bro? Like actually getting to see the facility, walking on, running the drills, like how was that experience overall?
Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make the team, but the relationships that I made there is for, like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like they're lifelong relationships because pretty much first week or second week I got out there, I met two of my guys. Like we're like this to this day. You know what I'm saying? One was on the team and one was training to walk on himself. And to this day, like them some guys like solid. Real deal. So had I never went through to that school or through that journey, I would have never met them. You know, my guy that was on the team, he helped me out a lot. You know, he helped me train, footwork, you know, technique as far as like DB because I played D in a linebacker, but I always like to train above what I am. That's just how you get better. So you know, he taught me a lot of DB stuff. And then he would get me into facilities like the indoor facility. You know. We'll go to the gym and train. So it was good being in that kind of atmosphere because once again, iron sharpens iron. So you got a person that's at this level, and he's letting me come along with him. So now I can see, okay, how a D1 player trains or what they do. You know, I get to see their practice schedule so I can prepare myself.
Yeah.
And then the tryouts, I tried out twice and I killed it. Like, I'm not just saying that to say it. Like I actually had dudes that I tried out with come up to me after, dap me up, be like, yeah, man, you on the team, you killed that for sure.
Did you feel a sense of like higher competition?
I know there's higher competition, but the kind of training I was doing, I had already prepared myself for it.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't nothing new to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I always trained at a higher level, and then with training with my guy too, he's kind of implementing some of the stuff that they're doing. So anything that y'all are bringing to me is nothing new. I've seen it, or I've trained myself harder than what my training consisted of doing things that will make me unbreakable. Like when you go on as a walk-on, a lot of the times they want to try and break you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially with conditioning and shit. They'll try to break you that first, see if you really got the stamina for the shit.
So
but what was other ways they tried to break you?
Whether it be like mentally, you know, knowing how to move in certain areas, those would be things that you would have to deal with. But I prepared myself for it mentally. So had I got into that situation, I was not going to be prepared. Because once again, what I'm going through is just what I'm going through to get to where I really want to be. You know? So as long as you really want something, you're going to sacrifice and go through whatever you got to go through to get that result.
Right. All right, let's circle back real quick. Back to college, man. Because I'm liking college right now. I ain't gonna know. I don't know about y'all, but I fuck with college a little piece. And I be trying to like put kids on. This kind of like what this platform for too, like just to show motherfuckers shoot your shot at whatever you trying to do.
Yeah.
But as far as like the fun in college, like what was some college experience that was pretty crazy and like you just look back on like damn, that was a good time right there.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really got none.
See, I was afraid that was going to be the answer too, because I was low key going to add, what about the sacrifices?
Ain't no for real.
I said, not the fun. What's some of the sacrifices you had to make?
And not a lot of people really say that. Like a lot of people think about college and you think about fun and turning up and partying. Me, once again, I know what I wanted, and I was willing to sacrifice. Like in my head, from a young age, the partying, the girls, all that's gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? I can always double back and go to a club. I go to a club when I'm 35. I can get female any day of the week.
I was
like
gonna say 35, nigga.
But I'm saying like the club is gonna always be there. You only gotta be 20. You only gotta be 21 to get in the club.
Yeah, facts.
So no matter what age I am after 20, I can get in the club if I want to go that bad. You know what I'm saying? However, I don't have my entire life to pursue this certain dream. You know what I'm saying? So I know from 17 to about 26, I need to give it my all. Because my dream was to go overseas and play ball. I want to go D1, and then from D1, I want to go overseas and play ball. Those are my dreams. So am I going to let this temporary fun or whatever get in the way of my lifelong dreams? Or am I going to go ahead and sacrifice that now so that way I can get what I actually want? I chose to sacrifice the party. And I lived in college town. I went to UCF. I lived right on University, which is by like two nightclubs. You know what I'm saying? 2 nightclubs. I literally stayed next door to a nightclub. And in the span of 2 years, I probably went 5 times, if even. You know, I know what I wanted, and I was gonna do whatever it took to get it.
Going back into a side conversation we had prior to us recording, and we were talking about your leg situation. And you brought up your disdain for the way the business of football is conducted. Can you expand on that a little bit, man?
Oh, for sure. So, for people that's not in it or don't reach that level, I think it's all glitz and glam. All right, you think everything is all fun or air, like you get this red carpet treatment. So, of the 1% that makes it to that level, only another 1% of that 1% gets all that extra treatment. All right, they don't tell you about the injuries or the people that's did wrong contractually. You know what I'm saying? Or how they cut players. Yeah, it's a lot of crazy things. Or the politics that's played behind the scenes. You know, when it comes to management, GMs or front offices, they don't put all that out there because that's gonna make them look bad. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want that. But the truth is, there's a lot of crazy things that go on behind closed doors. For instance, I was overseas, you know, last season, Poland. I was playing ball in Poland. I got injured. First game of the season, broke my foot. I didn't know it was broke. I just thought it was a bad sprain.
Man's took off in the game. I seen those clips. You wouldn't have even known Brad was playing on a whole broken foot. Would have known it.
That's some of the clips that you sent, P?
Yeah. The highlights. I broke my foot the first drive of the game. Played the whole game on it. Went crazy. I get
numbers. I can't get over it. I'm dead ass.
Yeah. We had 2 bye weeks, so I came back to the crib because I'm like, this is the longest break I'm gonna have. But when I come back, I find out that my foot is broke. So obviously I'm under contract, so I'm letting my coach know everything, and I'm sending him the paperwork from the hospital. And then he making it seem like I'm kind of making it up in a sense, but it's like, I'm not finna go ahead and make all this hospital documentation just to lie to you. Like, I signed a contract.
And you know your body.
You know what I'm saying? And I had an x-ray. And
the
it
doctor's
says
telling you,
man, the paperwork gonna tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
So,
pictures and everything.
Yeah, I can't make this up, but the way that they're making it seem like, okay.
Goes back to the politics.
You know what I'm saying? And I just, for those younger athletes, just know if you do want to go to that next level, make sure you learn your business. Okay, read all the contracts that you sign. Like I made sure I read my contract thoroughly, so they won't finna get over on me. But point is, it's a business at the end of the day. You know.
Did you ever have anybody to help you with your contract as far as like going over it and understanding what's going on in the contract?
No. But see, my contract, it wasn't like one of them thick ones. It wasn't like no 30 pager. It was like 5 pages. You know what I'm saying? I'm educated, so I read through it, and if there's anything I had a question on, I took it to the coach and like, what does this mean for clarification? Okay. I didn't have to do that, but if it reached that point where I didn't understand, you gotta ask. If you don't know, don't just put your name or sign anything that you don't know what you're signing, because that's how you put yourself in situations. You know what I'm saying? But I read everything thoroughly. I was comfortable with the situation, and I signed it. You know, and that's what it was. But once again, for the younger players, make sure you know what you're getting into and know the business. Whatever you're getting.
What you end up going to school for, as far as educational wise?
Sports and exercise science.
Okay.
That was my bachelor's degree, and I'm in my grad program right now for kinesiology.
Okay.
So.
Damn, what the fuck that is?
Yeah. It's funny, but I get that a lot. So it's pretty much, once again, sports and exercise science. It's just a concentrated version. So the thing I like about the degree is very general. You know what I'm saying? So I could do a lot with it. Like if I wanted to do physical therapy, I could do that. I would have to take a little bit more classes or go to school a little longer, but I could do that. If I want to do any kind of therapy, I could do that. If I want to get into athletic training, I can pursue that. If I want to do just a regular trainer, I can do that. Anything in the medical field, pretty much, I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
it could transfer to you being a nurse or not a nurse, like something like that.
Yeah. And it gives me like that basis, the foundation. Now, to be a nurse and like some of those other professions we named, you would have to go and get a certification. So you'd have to take like another class or two or another program to get certified, because now they're going to train you on that specifically. But you have a basis understanding of what's going on versus you not knowing anything, and now you're trying to get into this program. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. That goes to say, like, man, y'all boys should really focus on y'all studies. Like, while you in college playing sports, that's cool. But like you said, it's like that 1% chance.
Yeah, man.
So, like, motherfuckers don't think about, like, the studies. Like, motherfuckers think school retarded. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like this shit dumb. Because you need credits for classes that not going to apply to whatever your major is. So, yeah, just make sure you up on your studies, bro. Because once football gone, then you ain't got nothing but what you was learning in the classes.
Yeah, I would tell a lot of kids today that are like really relying on sports, have a backup plan. Because I remember this moment vividly, man. My mom had a talk with me. This is at the time where like I was really, really adamant about playing football, like going to college, going to the NFL and all that. And she sat with me. She broke down the number of amount of college athletes, how many of them play football, how many of them go to the NFL. It's basically 1% essentially. And then she was like, basically not trying to shoot down my dreams, but at the same time trying to make me be more realistic about, okay, I understand that you love this game. This game is what you want to do for the rest of your life. But what happens if it doesn't work? Like sometimes some people here, have a plan B as like, you don't believe in me. You don't think I can do it. No, it's to make sure that you can land on your feet, essentially, if this doesn't go right. There's a lot of elements to football a lot of people don't understand. You could get one wrong injury that could be a detriment to your whole career. People die from this sport. Some people, and then in just in terms of the lifespan of a career, I remember I was looking up like the lifespan of a running back. It's probably 5 to 6 years. Professionally. 5, that's not long. That's not a long time. So it's always good to have a plan B, have a backup plan for what you want to do. It can still be in the realms of sports and football, like what you're doing, but it's like, just have a plan B, because a lot of these kids are really, really relying on sports, especially from high school. You'll see it. And then once they graduate high school, they'll get picked up by a team,
it's kind of like their life is at a standard. I know cats that are back in Ocala now that are basically still reliving their past from sports. You'll catch them here and there, post up highlight clips from when they played and stuff like that. Like that's all cool and all, but I understand you can't relive those days. Those days are gone.
And for the boys that like went to the college level and like you said, like, and it just didn't work out, or they got injured and then they learned the politics, or I got hurt, so now they're trying to treat me a certain way, so I just stopped playing. There's a lot of those situations in Ocala too.
It's everywhere for that matter too. It's everywhere. There's a lot of kids that dedicate themselves not to even just football. It could be basketball, track, weightlifting, wrestling. They dedicate themselves to these sports with high expectations of going to the next level without realizing the percentage of those kids that actually make it, what they had to go through, the sacrifices, and then also the other factors that can play into that, injuries, family issues, financial things of that nature.
Yeah, and let me go in on that, because I was saying the backup plan and plan B. I used to hear that a lot, and it used to like trigger me. It made me feel away when I was younger. But as I got older, I think we just used the wrong terminology as adults. Like we said backup plan or plan B. It's not a backup or a plan. We think about life after your sport.
Yeah.
Realistically, you can't play no sport until like you're 50, 60. So believe in yourself always and go ahead and do what you got to do to perfect your craft, but at the same time prepare yourself for life after the sport. Because I remember at one point in time I thought I was never going to play again, and you have sort of this like personal crisis with yourself.
Yeah. It's like a midlife crisis type deal.
You identify as an athlete your whole life and don't work on anything else, and then you can no longer play. Like your life is in shambles. So to avoid that crisis, work on other things that you might want to do or that you enjoy in the meantime. So that way you have another life outside of being an athlete, because you're not just an athlete. You're not. Right. Don't make yourself one dimensional.
Yeah.
I pride myself in being versatile. Like I like to do a lot of different things, and that came with getting older and maturing. I didn't know that when I was younger. When I was younger, people were like, what are you? I'm an athlete, and that's it. I'm no longer just an athlete. No, I'm an athlete. I'm a student. I'm a son. I'm a coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm whatever I want to be, but I'm more than just one thing. I can't be boxed in.
This nigga, what you said that shit called again?
Yeah, kinesiology.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I guess it's just hard for kids to like just hear that, like have a plan B. Like I know, like I felt that same way too. Like I felt hurt with my mom. Like just even having that talk with her, like it hurt. But it was like, I'm glad I got that information, because like I said, like if I was to just be solely reliant on football being my future, I would be in shambles, because I wouldn't know what else to do. I would solely put all my mental focus, emotional focus into this game that I know it's just not good. I'm not gonna be able to do it forever. You see it today with NFL players, even where a lot of them don't know what they're gonna do after their career. A lot of them find themselves in financial ruin because of that.
See, and that goes back to, that's what I'm talking about, that personal crisis with
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And it's an internal thing. Nobody in the world will ever know unless you say it. But athletes, we go through that crisis because, once again, we don't prepare ourselves for life after sport. And that's one thing I like about this generation, is we're being multidimensional. We're no longer just athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Braun, for instance. Look at like some of these other athletes, Curry. Yeah, they're great on the court, but at what they do, but they're also philanthropists. They give back to the communities. They have charities. There's tons of other things that they doing that we don't even know that they doing. Right. That just goes to show they have a life outside of sports. Yeah. The sport doesn't consume them. All right, that's just one thing that they do.
They use it as a tool.
Exactly, but they're much more than that. So once again, kids, don't look at it as a backup or a plan B. Look at it as you preparing life for after sports, or you're preparing for your adult life after, you hang up the cleats or the sneakers or whatever sport you might play or participate in.
And going back what you're saying about getting exposure, take advantage of the exposure and then the technology that we have. I remember when was it? We was in our senior year of high school, and that little clip of Lamar Jackson kept flying around where he stopped and put his hands up, brothers full pass him. Like, bruh, like that got around, and I know that gave him like great exposure because he was playing at a small school. It's like kids today, even I remember it's like a little jit. He's signed to a college already. He's probably in his 6th grade. Already got a 4-year scholarship to a college. Like it's kind of weird, but it's kind of dope at the same time. Like you could really get yourself out there from a young age and really get the views of a college and stuff like that. So it's like take advantage of that. And that was going to lead to my question. Like with the accessibility that athletes have today, do you see that being an overall gain for us or an overall detriment? Because like going back to that little kid, he's got a 4-year scholarship to a college, but who's to say when he becomes 15, 16, 17 that he doesn't want to play football anymore? Mm-hmm. Do you think that like having that exposure from a young age is a good thing or a bad thing?
Any publicity is good publicity.
I think it puts a lot of more pressure on the kids instead of actually allowing them to enjoy the game. Because now, as a parent, these parents are coming in looking at their kids like, okay, we're gonna run this like a business type thing. Like we're gonna train you from early to be this person. And I think that takes away, I guess, the fun on the game. It takes away the chance for the child to actually love the game.
And that's why I said it's also the parents' job to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, a kid is a kid. Allow them to be that kid. Give them guidance and discipline, but still allow them to be a kid. You know, just because your kid might be one of the top athletes, that don't mean you start trying to turn them into the next Braun immediately. Nah, make sure that they're enjoying what they're doing. And if they come to you with, okay, I want to go this route, or I want to be the next Braun or Curry or any great player, then you start taking those steps to lead them in that direction. But you can't just force them. Because I know me as a kid, if anything was forced on me, I was doing the complete opposite. You was not about to force me to do anything, you know. So we got to stop forcing our kids to be one-dimensional. What about musicians? What about scientists? What about astrologists? Like, there's much more to life than sports. And I feel like in our culture, in our community, we just either force a sport or, you know, our kids to rap. Yeah. Like why can't we have any pop singers or country singers or rock and roll? And granted, that's not really my taste, but at the end of the day, there's much more to life than what we just focus on, and we could do much more and touch more revenue if we expand ourselves and be open-minded.
Yeah, man, it was nice meeting you, for real, though, and you did drop some motherfucking jewels. Like, you hit some key points that I wanted the viewers to see and young athletes to see, especially because it's a lot, you know, Cal is small, so if you ain't busy playing sports or you just not busy with something productive, then you get into something else. So it's like, I'm definitely glad we met and that you came here and took time to drop some jewels on us and everybody else.
I appreciate y'all having me. Like I told you, my man's right here. Anytime you need me, bro, for whatever, you feel me? And you locked in too, man. Whatever y'all need from me, if I can help, I'm here. But I like what y'all doing with the platform. Like you said, this is to help younger viewers or younger guys. You know, not everybody grows up with with a mentor or having an older brother or having a father figure, you know, and that's what I like about these podcasts nowadays is you're able to learn. Even if you might not have that male figure in the house, you can go online and watch productive podcasts and you can learn from it, you know what I'm saying? And we're able to learn from other people's experiences as well, so we don't have to make them same mistakes. So anytime, you know, I could go ahead and give some jewels and help, especially the younger generation, that's what I'm going to do. And that's one of the reasons I coach. I love helping the kids, man.
For sure, man. Appreciate you, man.
Please like and subscribe. Check out the highlights and the details below. Social Suicide, man. We'll catch you on the next one.